Green. Take Christopher Reeve as Superman, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, or Heath Ledger as the Joker. They personify these characters so well. But they weren't always cast to play these heroes. Here are 12 actors who almost played superheroes. Tom Cruise as Iron Man. It seems ridiculous to imagine anybody but Robert Downey Jr. to play Iron Man, but that wasn't always the case. It was long believed Tom Cruise would star as Iron Man, but also co-produced the Shellhead's first appearance on the big screen. Cruise was rumored to play Tony Stark near the turn of the century, and talk only grew after Sam Raimi's Spider-Man was such a success. However, Tom lost interest in the project due to the script at the time. Supposedly, it was because the story centered around Tony's father, Howard Stark, being the villain of the movie, but this has never been officially confirmed. Once Marvel signed Jon Favreau to direct, they signed RDJ to play Tony Stark because they believed he could pull off a likable asshole. Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal has not had great luck when it comes to superhero movies. He was originally supposed to take over for Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2, as Maguire was injured, but he recovered from his back injury and reprised his role, leaving Jake out in the cold. Then Gyllenhaal tried to go after the lucrative role of Bruce Wayne in Batman Begins, and made it to the final 8, but lost to Christian Bale. Jake got a second shot though, as he was in talks to play Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight, but lost it to Aaron Eckhart. Ironically though, Jake's sister, Maggie Gyllenhaal, was cast in the movie as Rachel Dawes. John Krasinski as Captain America. When Marvel began to produce Captain America the First Avenger, John Krasinski impressed the producers so much that he was on the top of the list for Steve Rogers, beating out actors like Channing Tatum and Mike Vogel. Then out of nowhere, Chris Evans swooped into the role without even having to audition. While Chris Evans turned out to be perfect, I can definitely see why they wanted John Krasinski. Marlon Wayans as Robin. Before Joel Schumacher took over the Batman franchises and ran it to the ground, Tim Burton was supposed to direct a third installment and had officially cast Marlon Wayans as Robin. He'd even done test screenings in the costume. When Schumacher took over, he ditched most of Burton's work and recast Chris O'Donnell as Robin. Don't feel bad for Wayans though. Warner Brothers paid his contract in full and didn't have to humiliate himself. Adrianne Palicki as Wonder Woman. Even though Adrianne Palicki was cast and filmed the pilot for the Wonder Woman TV show, the series was canned before it even aired. Too bad, because it could have been a real winner. Palicki returned to the superhero genre though as Bobby Morse on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Will Smith as Superman. Back in the early 2000s, producer John Peters was trying to get a Superman movie off the ground. He began to toy around with the idea of a black Superman, even going so far as to contact Will Smith. Several years later, Bryan Singer also sought out Will Smith to star as Clark Kent in Superman Returns. In the end though, Will Smith turned down both offers, deciding that the move was too controversial for him. Jack Black as Green Lantern. Speaking of controversial, did you know that Jack Black almost starred in a Green Lantern movie? This wasn't a superhero movie starring a comedy actor like Ant-Man. Now this was a gross-out comedy and the rich mythology of Green Lantern crammed into one terrible movie. Instead of Hal Jordan, it would have starred Judd Plato, an overweight furniture store employee who gets drunk and eats animal heads on TV. Yes, that's in the script. He would use his powers to create a green elf for his friend to have sex with, and also trapped criminals inside a huge condom. So you can see why this movie was never made. Emily Blunt as Black Widow. As much as I love Scarlett Johansson, and I do love me some ScarJo, I think it would have been great to see Emily Blunt portray Black Widow, especially after seeing how badass she was in Edge of Tomorrow. The funny thing is, the part was originally hers in Iron Man 2, but due to contract issues with Fox, she had to drop out and instead co-starred in the forgettable Gulliver's Travels with Jack Black. Leonardo DiCaprio as Spider-Man. Back in the early 2000s, Sony got its hands on the Spider-Man franchise and then instantly started producing, using James Cameron's script, but not the director himself. They also wanted to get their hands on a hot young actor, Leonardo DiCaprio, who had just come off the record-breaking success of Titanic. After many rewrites and Sam Raimi coming on board to direct, Tobey Maguire was hired to play young Peter Parker, and Leo still hasn't starred in a superhero movie since. Nicolas Cage as Superman. After the disaster of Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, Warner Brothers decided that they were going to reimagine Superman, Batman style. Kevin Smith was hired to write, Tim Burton came on to direct, and Nicolas Cage was hired as the Big Blue Boy Scout. After just mishap after mishap and just everything going wrong though, they ended up canning the project and instead decided to create Wild Wild West, which ended up flopping terribly. Bill Murray as Batman. Before the 1989 Batman starring Michael Keaton, Bill Murray was almost cast as the Caped Crusader. The Murray Batman was going to be much more campy, along the lines of the Adam West TV show, before Warner Brothers hired Tim Burton, and he took the project in a whole new direction and cast Michael Keaton, and in the end, made history. Sylvester Stallone as Superman. Directed by Richard Donner, Superman was the first big budget, big screen superhero movie and attracted a lot of famous celebrities like Robert Redford and Burt Reynolds. Some rising stars threw their names in the part too, such as Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. Sly lobbied hard for the part and could have been the Man of Steel until he was shot down by Marlon Brando, who had already signed on to play Jor-El, the father of Kal-El. But now we've had Christopher Reeve as Superman, and in my opinion, it was the perfect casting. So that's it. Those are 12 actors and actresses who almost played our favorite heroes on the big screen. What do y'all think? Is there anybody that I missed? Sound off in the comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. And if you have any ideas for future